right. Maybe what's always behind the door is what we need. We need power. Excuse me. We're going, guys. We are going. Objects repeated. Get out. The heck? You crashing a whip? Where are you? Oh, hey, whoa. Is that safe?
Oh, shoot. Oh,
please.
We live. Oh, sorry, guys. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hold on. Let me get the seat up a little bit. There we go. Hi, guys. How you doing? Hope everybody's well. My running kid here, your alpha's back again with the 80th stream open mic Q&A. Sorry guys, I was catching up on 8-Bit Ryan's videos. I'm a big fan of 8-Bit Ryan's. He's one of my favorite video game YouTubers, you know, along with Dashi and Corey Kenshin and people like that. So I was catching up on his work and I forgot that the whole video was on. I'm like, oh my god, you know, stuff like that. It's funny. Yeah, guys, so it's the 80th video, it's the 80th stream, 80th open mic Q&A. I'm rocking my Metallica shirt today. Rock on. Yes, I am a fan of Metallica. I don't know, I just felt like rocking it. It's probably backwards. It's probably backwards. Yeah, it probably is. I can't do anything about that. That's just how the stream is. Yeah, I can't do anything about that one. That's sucks. But yeah. Anyway, here again with questions. I'm here to answer your questions, talk about what's going on, and maybe something that happened in life on my end, as well as answer your questions. I see I got some super chats, you know, people dropping super chats. So, okay, I appreciate the love and, you know, thank you for that, as always. So, yeah, like I said, I am now, it is now the month of April 5th, and we are now only a few weeks away basically from my trip. I'm about to head down to Orlando in May. It'll be my first trip since the pandemic. I'll be going to MegaCon Orlando. I will be vlogging as always, and I'm going to be cosplaying. I just checked out my new Spider-Man cosplay. If y'all saw that post, I posted showing off my costume. I checked it out today. I put it on just to see if, you know, make sure it fits. It fits. It's kind of a struggle to get into it a little bit because it's not like my other Spider-Man cosplay. But somebody asked me, you know, would you ever get Miles's costume? And I told this person, I forgot who it was that said, I said, dude, I want every Spider-Man costume as a cosplay, as many as I can get. So yeah. Yeah, guys, like I said, so it's been fun. You know, the last couple of days, you know, has been interesting for me, you know, because of the fact that, you know, I have been, you know, enjoying the first few days as 40. I want to thank everybody for commenting on that video to you, because that basically was for you guys, that Dear Everybody video, everyone, excuse me. That was a video, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who gave me the birthday wishes and things like that. Man, why is this thing still? Sorry. There you go. All right. Now we better. There we go. All right. That's better. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who was. So that's what it's very interesting today. You know, this week I was in an area that sorry about that. I was in an area and, you know, just some real interesting things that happened. So Yeah, but yeah, guys. So I'm here to answer your questions, and like I said, seeing the people that are here, who of the pack is here. Let's see what the pack members of the pack that are here. Okay, uh, we got Carolina Figure, Quentin Blake, Andre, David Big Lad, Brill David, and I think that's it so far. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, and at B Bone B B Bone Rainmaker. Okay, well, let's answer some of your questions. Okay, so first and foremost, I'll start off with the super chats because, like I said, you don't have to throw super chats at me, guys. I do answer your questions, but I appreciate the questions. So, B Bone Breaker, with the $2 super chat, basically says to me, he says thoughts on uh, Bruce Willis retiring from acting. Oh God, yes. Um, it's really sad in a sense because it's not the why, it's not the how he's retiring. It's the why he is retiring. If you guys haven't been keeping up on what track what's going on, Bruce Willis is has a condition called aphasia. I hope I'm saying it right. Aphasia, and it's basically gonna take his will from communicating and speaking and remembering things as well. And that's really sad. Demi Moore, his ex-wife, and his daughters, and so had talked about it, had put up on a post, and it's really sad to see that because that I've never really heard about the condition that he has, but it's really sad to see that Bruce Willis is going through that. For someone like me who's been rocking with Bruce Willis for so long, I remember when this dude was a TV star when he and Sybil Shepherd were doing Moonlighting. That's how far back I go with Bruce Willis. Before he even starred in Die Hard, I remember him from the show Moonlighting. Yeah, Bruce was a TV star first, then went into movies. And it's really sad because I love Bruce Willis, and it is sad to see what has happened to him. To me, it's kind of like simple. It's kind of like similar to a wrestler, to professional wrestling. When I see some of my favorite professional wrestlers retire, but not on their own, they're being forced out, and that's technically what's happening to him. He's being forced to retire because of this condition, and it's sad, you know. And I will do something in honor of Mr. Willis. I think maybe I'll do a list, a top list of my favorite movies of his, because I do have a lot of his movies. Bruce in Western cinema, he was part of the Trinity as the big three action heroes. When you thought about the action heroes in Western cinema, he was up there with Arnie and Stallone, and he was the next. You know, and for everybody who always wanted to see them work together in a movie, I think we all did. And then finally, Sly made it happen in Expendables. Yeah, it was more of a cameo, but it was still great to see them on screen together, all three of them. You know, so uh, but it is sad to see what's happening to Bruce, Mr. Willis. It really is. I wish it didn't happen to him. It's the same thing like I say about a lot of actors. Like I wish Michael J. Fox never got Parkinson's. I wish that never happened to, Ali. Rest in peace. I wish, there's certain actors that I love, and I'm like, yo, I wish that never happened. I wish Robin Williams didn't. What happened to him? Things like that. But I'll always carry the memories of Bruce, and still have his favorite movie. Yes, I understand later on the course of his careers, we started to see him do more direct, kind of low budget movies. And I just read an article about that this there were signs of this happening early, but movie roles just kept coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in, and he didn't kind of stop. But like I said, it is sad to see where where it's going, and I just hope nobody start or tone down the jokes about him because of this, because it's sad. Yeah. But thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that, B Bone Rainmaker. You got a weird name, but it's cool. I get it. And your next super chat, you dropped $4. I appreciate that very much. Your alpha thanks you. Like I said, you don't have to do that, guys. It's just some people do. I appreciate it. So you ask the next question: will you do something to honor Luke Cage's 50th anniversary? Yes, I will. Of course, I will. That's not even a question to even ask. Yes, Luke Cage, the man called Luke Cage, is celebrating his 50th anniversary with Marvel. And you damn right I'm going to be doing something for him. I'll probably do my favorite moments, or just something for Luke. Maybe a top 10 or something like that, like favorite moments in comics, or things like that. It depends. I'm still coming up with ideas for it, but it's no coincidence. It's kind of funny that you asked that, because I was thinking about that. Like, what will I do for Luke for his 50th anniversary? Thor's going to celebrate his 60th. Spider-Man 60th. They're these characters have been around for so long, and for someone like me who appreciates the longevity of these characters, it does my heart good to see these characters still around, because most of these characters are around since our parents were kids. So to see that they're still as strong as they are, even stronger, I think Spider-Man and people like that have our popularity even stronger than when our parents were kids. You know, but yeah, it's yeah, I will be doing something for them. So yeah, thank you for the the uh the super chats. You didn't have to do that, B. I would have just answered it right away, but I'm guessing you can't make it. I don't know. Maybe you can't make it, so you just drop these here. I appreciate it, as always. So let's move on to the next questions. Uh, by saying, how's my day? My day was good. Uh, Got to see to be here the 80th. Yeah, thank you. Let's see what's in there. Okay, I was wondering if if you was if I were Will Smith, would you have smacked Chris Rock? Would you have smacked Chris Rock for slapping your wife? How would you have handled that situation? Oh, smacked hit Chris Rock for slapping your wife. Are you trying to say would I have hit? I said my piece on the whole situation. You go watch the video. You could see what I said. I'm not gonna repeat it because I'm done with that. I really am. I'm not. No offense, but I'm not talking about that again, because like I said, you want to know what I thought about the whole slap incidents? Go watch the video. It's on the channel. I don't want to talk about that no more. No offense, but I'm done. I've been done with that stuff since the day it happened. 3 days after, I was done, and then all the stupid memes that went up about it, and I'm just like, I'm done. Like, enough with it. It's over. It's done. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Oh, he ruined his career. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He didn't ruin his career. He didn't ruin it. Sony and them put a hold on summer projects, but his career's not over. No, no, it isn't. No, it's over. Have you watched Danny Phantom? Yes, I have. Big fan of Danny Phantom. Uh, I'm going to Salt Lake City, Utah this summer. That's nice. Never been to Salt Lake City. Never been to Utah, period. So uh, I always wonder, like, what else is there to do out there in Utah? You know, I know there's a lot of Mormons out there that live out there. So uh, I'm finally getting the chance to read Batman White Knight Deluxe book. Oh, I never. Have I read that? I don't think I read that. I don't think I read it, but I heard some people say they liked it. Some people say they don't. Um, so yeah, 40 is the new 30. I don't feel any different. Have you been watching the Owl House? I love the Owl House. It's just sad that it got canceled. The Spectre versus Lord Beerus. Who would win? Anytime you put Dragon Ball characters against, yeah, I always gonna go sway for the Dragon Ball characters. Sorry. Uh, hey Chris, how you doing? Good, Tony. Thank you. How's the life? How's life? How's family? How's and the health? Family's fine. Health is well. Um, life is pretty good. Just striving to do better. That's all. Just like Daniel Radcliffe said, we are getting bored with the Will Smith situation. We need to move on. I'm saying, man, it's boring. It's stupid. It's like, okay, it happened. You know, should he have did it? No, he shouldn't have. But the memes, the thing, this, that, blah, 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 I'm done with it. It's like it. You can't take it back, but it happened. I don't. I said my piece on it. I don't need to. I don't want to repeat myself, especially stuff like that. I'm not repeating anything. Uh, I'm going to visit some family in Denver, Colorado later in April. Never been to Denver, Colorado. Never been to Colorado, but I've always wanted to go to Colorado. That's that mountain at high altitude. You know, all that things. And it's legit from what I've heard. Like if you're not from there and it's like legit. You know, kind of little you wear yourself out at high altitude. The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest was a classic. I love Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. I think Warner Brothers put it out on DVD box sets, but I love Johnny Quest in general. But when they did that, the Real Adventures, I loved it. I remember when Cartoon Network it used to come on Cartoon Network, it used to come on TBS, it used to come on TNT, it used to come on all the Turner networks, and I remember when they were just when they used to advertise it and it would just show this cue, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? And you know, my brain at first wasn't thinking what. I'm like, is it Johnny Quest? And when they did it, you know, I loved it. I thought it was really cool. It was a really cool new uh, version of him in a sense. You know, Robert Patrick voiced Race in the beginning, and the artwork was the animation was really crisp and clean before they changed animation in the second season. You could tell they kind of went more with the more familiar look, but in the beginning, you know, it was really like I'm sure episodes just doing that artwork was like expensive to do because it was really. And then of course when they do the Quest World stuff, I was fine with it, you know, but I loved, you know, they had Zen, you know, they had all the classic villains of Johnny, but I loved it. I thought, you know, it was really, really cool. Some of my favorite episodes I remember, especially in the first season, um, they the Jersey Devil. They did an episode about the Jersey Devil, where pretty much the Dr. Quest, Johnny, and Haji were traveling through the Pine Barrens. Now, if you not from the East Coast or New Jersey, the Pine Barrens is a huge forest area in southern New Jersey, I think. It's almost as big as I think think it's almost half the size of Yellowstone. I think it's big. And there's rumors of, this goes back to colonial days, that there's a devil that runs through those woods. It all goes back to a woman named Leeds. She had so many children, and she wished that the last one was a devil. And when the baby was born, it was born with wings and hooves and the face of a horse or something like that. And it flew out. It flew out. Remind me, this is myth or story. It flew out and flew through the chimney and escaped into the woods, and it's been there ever since. Um, and there's some people out there that say they actually seen it. There was a couple of documentaries about it. People have seen it, and they've done documentary like lie detector tests and everything. And even somebody even drew, like not even drew, but sculpted what they saw, and the looks on their faces when they saw the sculpture freaked them out so bad, because it was like, this is exactly what I saw. People that it said it happened to, it was on top of their roof, and when they went outside in the snow, there were hoof prints on the roof. I'm like, yo, is this thing for real? But the point was, the episode focused on that, but it also focused on that during that time there was still a family that never knew that the Revolutionary War ended. So they were descendants of Minutemen and Redcoats still in that forest fighting. And it also played up that the real Declaration of Independence, they had it. So the one that's in, I think, where is it? I think it's in the Smithsonian or something, is a fake. But there was a real Jersey Devil at the end. There was a real one. The other one I loved is the Manhattan Man-Eater, when there was a escaped tiger in New York City, my home, and it was killing people. And Dr. Quest and them had to save it before this hunter killed it. And there were a lot of episodes I really enjoyed. And I could talk about, Real Adventures of Johnny Quest all day, because that was just a really good series. Last thing I will say before I move on to the next question. I'm sorry, guys. Big Lad should have known better to ask me this question. But one of my favorite villains outside of Zin was Ezekiel Rage. His story and origin made perfect sense for why someone who may have worked for the government would turn on, you can say, his country. It was really bad to see he was a government agent, and I don't know if he was a CIA operative or whatever. He was on assignment, and his wife and kid came down to surprise him while he was on assignment. The people that he was chasing recognized him, and they started chasing him, and he was telling his contacts, like, he basically said, I got hatchlings in the carriage with me, basically saying he's got his family in there. Please get me out of this. Get them out of it. And he's like, and I swear to God, if you don't, I'll hunt you down. And his family died, and he was all burnt up. He had like a half a skin, and he would always read from this book, and he would quote like the Book of Rage. And they finally opened up what the Book of Rage was, and all it was an empty book of just empty pages, but it had a picture of his family. So in a sense, he was doing all this for his family. It was really messed up, but it was like, oh man. But yeah, Big Lad should have known the action. I'm sorry, guys. I get on Real Ventures. I'm gonna start talking about that. The Owl House wasn't necessarily canceled. Its third season just no, it got canceled. It wasn't just short. It got canceled. The creators even said it was canceled. They didn't renew it. You don't get renewed. That means you got canceled. There's a possibility that season 5 of Cobra Kai will be released along this year. Yep, I've heard about that. Any DC or Marvel comic events you looking forward to? Well, I'm just finished Dark Age. Dark Ages, that was Tom Taylor's last Marvel work. which was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I'm a Tom Taylor fan. This week will be the final issue of Devil's Reign. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that ends. DC wise, not so much. That new thing that's coming out for DC, the Crisis, or I'm 50-50 on it. It is what it is. Without spoiling too much, how do you feel about the Moon Knight? Moon Knight so far. First episode was good because I am a huge Moon Knight fan, and I thought they did a very good job in that first episode. Very good. I loved the aspect of him kind of flipping personalities and it just looked like it happened just a second. And then I love the transition into him going from Stephen Grant to Mark Spector and Academy Award winner F. Abraham is the voice of Khonshu. I was like, when he was talking, I'm like, I know that voice. Where have I heard that? And then I looked it up. I was like, and when it showed it, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, F. Graham Abraham. I'm like, oh, okay. I know that. That was good. So I won't be doing weekly reviews of Moon Knight just because I'm just going to do an overview when all 6 episodes are complete. But I've been loving it so far, as like I said. Let's see. Quinn, do you want to see a movie or show of Midnighter? That would probably have to be done on HBO Max if they want to do a Midnighter Apollo series. Because they're married, they're husbands. That would be probably where to do that because I don't trust CW to do it justice. It would have to be done on HBO Max. Let's see. Moon Knight, so far as my opinion is making WandaVision look tamed. Well, I mean, there's a reason for it because it's dealing with gods. It's dealing with we're dealing with. First of all, there aren't a lot of characters in comics that deal with Egyptian mythology or the Egyptian deities and the Egyptian mythos pantheon. There ain't a lot. Wanda's not Egyptian. She's never been attached to Egypt. She's never no. It's a good and you should think like that. You should never feel like it's the same thing. These shows are supposed to be somewhat different from each other. That's the problem. That's the thing. If you get too attached of these shows being the same thing over and over, then there are no characters that have this kind of situation like Mark Spector has. He suffers from multiple personality disorder. There's technically three, or I guess you could say 4. There's a bunch. He got a bunch of personalities in his head, but the main 3 were always his Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, which the way they're portraying him in the show is a lot different than what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a rich man, and he is how he looks at evil through the realm of being wealthy. And then there's Jake Lockley, who is a cab driver, who sees the everyday evil through his eyes. But outside of that, nobody else has that in comics in general. I right now just finished reading a comic that I helped through Kickstarter. It's an independent comic called Arachne and Arachna, and it's right here. Actually, it's right here. I will be doing a review on it soon. It's called Arachna, and she is a hero with split personality. She one side of her is just like, and then it's the other side of her has the other personality. Like basically, what it is basically what if you throw in Spider Woman mixed with Moon Knight? That's what you're getting. So yeah, it's cool. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, it should be different. They should be different. They all should be the same. If you're doing a Disney Plus series about, a cosmic hero, yeah, it should be a lot different from, WandaVision or something like that, or Loki or anything like that. Kamala Khan is next, and this should feel more like a teen superhero drama, like what it should be. What Willow Wilson wrote. And I hate the fact that there's got so many people out this. I mean, that's not Kamala. Yes, it is. There's nothing different about her. What are you talking about? The only thing different is just the fact that they changed her power set for the time being. Not saying they can't go back to her original power set. We can see that later on. You can. It's not saying that they can't, but the fact is they can't do it now because they have to reintroduce the Inhumans into the MCU. And it probably would have been if that garbage TV series didn't come out. And you know who I blame for that? Jeff Loeb. Thank God he's gone. Jeff Loeb, I've never been a fan of his Marvel stuff. His DC stuff is fine, but his Marvel stuff, he no. Andre, so what do you think about the recent run on Superman comics on War World? I don't know. I'm not reading Superman, so I can't tell you what's going on. I don't read a lot of DC books anymore like I used to. I've cut back on a lot of DC books because, just, I read more independent and I stay with Marvel. In terms of DC, I stay with Wonder Woman. I read Nightwing. I read uh I read Flash, but a lot of the DC stuff is in trades now for me. That clearly goes with the Batman stuff. Like, yeah, I'm Batman. It will always be now just buy and trade. I won't buy like Batman single issues. But they have DC gone crazy with those prices for Batman. I'm like, why is Batman books over $5 and stuff? I'm like, you crazy for what? Are you nuts? That's ridiculous. Um, which version of America Chavez do you hope they will choose for her in the movie? Like her origins, like like her origins background, like her planet. Well, America Chavez was a perfect choice for Doctor Strange to be in because she's from a different reality. She's not from the 616 universe. She's from a different Earth. So we dealing with the multiverse makes sense. They say that she's gonna play. She plays a key role in this movie. That's great. Um, the one thing I hope that they do per is just like she America Chavez is no slouch, and she don't take a lot of crap from nobody. She is fierce, smart, but she is also very much somebody who won't take a lot of crap from anybody. Trust me. The only thing I think some people have said is like it's weird that they got I believe a Mexican actress instead of a Puerto Rican actress, and don't say what's the difference because there is a difference because trust me there is. But yeah, it is what it is. That happens, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her. That classic jacket and everything like that. Well, have you heard of Diamond and should he be in the MonsterVerse? Yeah, I think I have. Um, and that all depends. Is he owned by Toho? I think. I'm not sure. Favorite Danny Phantom moment. Moments or moment? Mm, man, it's been a long time. I haven't. I think one of the movies was a good moment. Uh, One of the longer hour long specials. Um, I think when he first faced his evil version of himself, I think that was a moment. Like he was like, "That's me." Like when his powers evolved have always been good. When he finally told um, Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting their names. Uh, that he liked her. I thought that was good. When his sister found out, what he was, that's another good moment. So he had somebody he could trust besides his gang, his crew. So yeah, there's a couple of them. I can't remember a lot of like. I got to rewatch Danny Phantom. Good thing I got Paramount Plus. I could watch it again. Because right now I'm watching all the episodes of the Loud House that I missed. I love the Loud House. That show is hilarious to me. Oh boy. Why fans don't like Andy Bogard? I'm a fan of Andy. I don't know who that's not. I haven't heard that many people say they don't like Andy Bogart. Um, I like Andy. Yeah, Andy's cool. I don't mind him at all. I just there are probably just some people that don't like him. I don't know. Did you enjoy WrestleMania this year? Uh, Night one was a lot better than night two, in my opinion. To me, the weakest match on night one was the Charlotte Flair versus uh, uh, Ronda Rousey, because the way that ended was just pathetic. I was like, oh Jesus, that was the best match was Bianca versus Bianca Belair versus uh, Becky Lynch. That was a great match. Great moment was to just see Stone Cold have a match like after 19 years. Have a match, and he was taking bumps. I'm like, he's bumping, and there were times I'm like, no, 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 Steve, like but he was getting up. It's fine. Um, as for night two, I was glad to see Sasha finally broke the curse. She's never won a match at WrestleMania. She finally won one, so I thought that was great. The Johnny Knoxville versus uh, Sami Zayn was fun and hilarious at the same time. And I could go back and watch that match over and over because that's how good that match was to me. Fuck what's the name said. I don't give a crap what Mr. Uh, critic says. I forgot his name. I don't care right now. It was great. Sammy and Kevin Owens better have gotten a big payday for that. But Sammy for sure. I was just scared for Johnny Knoxville because he already diagnosed that he shouldn't be getting hit in the head. And every time he got kicked in, I'm like, Sammy, that face, stop hitting him in the head. Like I was scared. I'm like, oh Jesus. But yeah, he was fine. Uh and glad this happy Corbin bullshit is over because I can't take that no more. That feud is over, thank God. um Cody Rhodes was great. The fact that he got that big ovation was great. And for all you AEW nutty huggers out there cursing his name up, go fuck yourself with that. Solomonster's right. This tribalism attitude that some fans have, like, oh, you can't watch WWE and like AEW, or you can't watch WWE and be AD. No, you can't. No, fuck all that. If you're a wrestling fan, you can watch whatever the hell you want. Get out of here. Like it's ridiculous. So, but to see Cody, get that basically make his return, back to the WWE, and I watched Raw last night, the Raw after, and to see him come on and make his statement, know what he wants. He's after the belt, and then now it's like, will they do something? Will they do it? He to me, I feel like he's ready now. He's very much ready. I still kind of question a little bit. He had an executive position in AEW as well as a talent, and I don't know what the circumstances are that led him to leave and then go. I don't know. There's all these rumors that, he was seeing Punk and Brian and all them come in and get these big paychecks. And he was like, well, hey, what about me? I don't know what it is. And I'm not going to speculate. But the fact is he's returned home. He's returned home. And he had a great match with Seth Rollins. Last night, Seth Rollins came out. They shook hands. Seth Rollins even said, welcome home. Okay, let's see where they go. But overall, it was good. It was a good WrestleMania. But night one blew night two out of the water, though. There is a French actor on Moon Knight. Yeah, that I know he passed away too. He in a skiing accident or something like that. That was sad. Sorry, fix that camera. There you go. All right. Next question. Chris, what do you think of Haley Stratfield? Kate Bishop, did you like her? I've answered this question before. I loved her. Go watch my Hawkeye review. I loved her as Hawkeye. I was hoping she was gonna be Kate Bishop, and to see her, the way they were able to adapt her was great. And I love the interviews where they asked her, so what's next? And I think one point she even said, well, I think it's she gave hints of like maybe Young Avengers, and she looked back at Kevin, and Kevin gave her a look like, don't you dare say it, like almost like you keep it quiet. We got all the Young Avengers in the MCU now. They could do it. Want to see a Moon Knight game? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ever heard of a novel, The Journey to the West? Of course, Monkey, the Monkey King, Journey to the West. Of course, love it. I'm a big Monkey King. That's my favorite myth, Chinese mythos, the Monkey King. Did you hear that they're making a Sherlock Holmes on HBO Max that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be a producer, maybe play his version of Sherlock Holmes for the two series. So they're not going to do the third movie? Because I thought the third movie was a go. The third movie, I heard the third movie is still a go. If they do that, that's fine. I'll still watch it because I enjoyed Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes. I thought Jude Law was great as Watson. He was a different Watson because most of the time, if you ever read the books, it was Sir Arthur actually wrote that. Yeah, he describes what Watson looks like. He was a kind of a roly, short, pudgy man, but Watson in Jude Law's version was different. He was actually a soldier and he could fight. I was loving that. I like when they take liberties with classics, tweak them a little bit. Even when they did, remember the show Elementary? That used to come on CBS, which I loved. It was like a modern take of Sherlock Holmes, and even in that, Lucy Liu played Watson, and it made sense because it that wasn't her original name. She married her mother married a gentleman, and they turned it into Watson. So it was like her name was Joan Watson, but it was still cool. She was still a doctor, and then she left because situation, and she was like Sherlock's help aide because he was dealing with the drug addiction, which in the original series, Sherlock Holmes was on drugs. There were a couple of times he was an addict. Um, they don't talk about that too much in the shows that I don't think of. But yeah, Sherlock, as smart as he was, yeah, he used to do drugs. Um, read the books, read the books. They talk about it more, and even the fact that we saw Sherlock, especially in Robert Downey's being able to fight that good, it's portrayed in the books that yeah, he learned uh, certain Chinese martial arts, close quarters martial arts. He knew, yeah, Sherlock knew how to fight. It wasn't that wasn't a joke either. So yeah, some fans hate Scarlet Witch after WandaVision, which I understand, but do you think she can be redeemed in Doctor Strange 2, or do you think she's going to die? She's not dying. She just signed on, she just renewed her contract for like 7 more years. She's still gonna be around. And she ain't dying no time soon. And it that line that she says when you do something that you're looked at as a hero, but when I do it, I'm looked at as a villain. It's not fair. True, but also Wanda is almost a point. But Wanda, baby girl, you manipulated people. You held people captive in your own world in this kind of so you can't be saying like it's not fair. No, it is fair because there's a difference between what Doctor Strange did than what you did. But she's gonna be around for a long time, and I'm glad because I think you know Miss Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen does great as Wanda, and to see her in that the more traditional costume, perfect. But I don't think she's dying. There's a part of me that believes Strange might do something for her, give her her give her her kids back. I will not be surprised if at the end of that movie there's a gift from Wanda, Doctor Strange to Wanda, and it's her kids. I will not be surprised if they do that because that would be right out of the comics. What do you think about Marvel Comics upcoming summer event Judgment Day? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. The Avengers, the Eternals, and the X-Men, and somehow the Eternals are their mission has always been to protect the world from the deviants. Now it's something is screwing with them or whatever, and now they want to wipe out mutants. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, oh Jesus. If Bullseye was in the DC universe, which heroes other than Batman would he clash with? Green Arrow, Nightwing. Uh, I would see him having a rivalry. Jesus Christ! I heard that. Damn. Anyway, I would see him having a personal rivalry with Deathstroke. Like, yeah. And the other person I could see him really kind of having a be kind of a would be mm, uh Hmm. Oh, nah, nah. He, but yeah, people like that. Those are certain people. Tony, any idea on which role Delroy Leno is playing in the Blade movie? Yeah, he's playing Jamal. Jamal Al Offrey, Blade's original teacher. That's Blade's original teacher. Forget what you saw in the first movie. There is no Whistler. Albert Whistler is not real. He was only made for those movies. He was only made for the real person that trained Blade as a vampire hunter is a man called Al Jamal Al-Fari. He was a jazz musician, but he was also a vampire hunter, and he got turned later on, and Blade had to put him down. So that's who he's playing. That's who Delroy's playing for sure. And it better not be some just a black version of Whistler. Like his name is Whistler, and he go with the real source. Don't switch that. Don't definitely. So definitely he's gonna be Jamal. Did you hear that Chris Pratt is going to voice another classic cartoon character, Garfield? Chris Pratt's gonna voice Garfield, huh? So Bill Murray voiced him, so now Chris Pratt will. Uh, okay, but nobody can ever top even Bill Murray. Nobody can top the original voice of Garfield. Nobody. That's will always be my voice. That will always be the voice of Garfield. I'm forgetting his name, but he passed away though. He was the voice. Thor, Love, and Thunder finally going to do a press tour. That's cool. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to see Gorg. Can you see a possible Justice League team in DC's center around superheroes from Africa? Uh, I would say yes, but the answer would be no because they wouldn't do that. When they I remember when they tried to kind of do that in the original Nightwing Batwing run, the original Batwing David Zambibi, we saw the other like this Justice League team of African heroes that was being killed off, and I'm just like, yeah, they're not gonna do it. Nope. If Blade was in the DC universe, which characters would he be interacting with the most? John Constantine. Yep. Madame Xanadu, people like that. Maybe even Detective Chimp. Blue Devil, definitely too. After Thor 4, do you think Thor will finally set up to become King of Asgard and Jane remains on Earth, or they both stay on Earth together? Uh, it'd be interesting because I don't know. Like, it kind of shows that Thor does not want to be king. He doesn't want to be king of Asgard. He's kind of shown that already. Um, but my guess is if that would be a good way of maybe sending him off, like sending having his swan song, like okay, Thor has to stay on Asgard to be the All Father because the new All Father because it just yeah, he gave it to Valkyrie, but I still feel that that's not going to work for too long. So yeah, uh, it is what it is. comic character, comic character get burned. I what? I don't know, Travis. Was that? Who was it? Did you anime watch Tiger and Bunny? What? Did I watch the anime Tiger and Bunny? No, if that's what you're trying to say. Quinn, do you want to see a movie or show of TMNT The Last Ronin? Uh I wouldn't mind, but I would actually want that maybe as a direct to not even a direct to not even a not a TV show, but yeah, maybe a direct to Blu-ray movie or something like that. Because I don't think it would be able to do justice on like TV or so. Especially the fact that the Turtles right now are under Nickelodeon. You know. I don't know if it's a rumor, but I'm hearing that they going to do something. They may do something Blade's daughter again. Oh, I mean, it was a pretty decent idea. I didn't mind it. It was like, yeah, it was cool. But the biggest question for me was like, who did Blade hook up with to have that daughter? That was going to be the question for me, because at the end of the day, even still, she would only be 1/4 vampire or so, because he's a damn fire technically. I mean, that's not how it's a go. For all those who don't know how a damn fire is happening, it's if a full blood vampire and a human mate. That's how that's born. In the Marvel universe, it was the way they did it was different. The whole, well, Blade's mom was pregnant with him, and Deacon Frost was feeding on her, and that's how it happened. The enzymes, I guess you could say, of the vampire messed with. But in all honesty, if you read other vampire stories, that's not how a vampire is born. A vampire is born through a union of a human and a vampire. So if his daughter would only be like 1/4 or so, not like her dad. Uh, do you feel bad? Do you feel bad for Bobby Brown? What happened to Bobby Brown? I I don't know what happened to Bobby Brown. I'm keeping up with, but would you like to see a Disney animated film that takes place in Japan? Okay, yeah, depending on the story. Um, I'm still disappointed that they didn't show at least Uncle Ben's tombstone next to Aunt May. That means not, because basically what it's implying is that this universe there was no Uncle Ben, and I'm fine with that. Um, there are universes that there was no Uncle Ben. That fine. Still impressed to see that it was still a Parker that said those famous words to him. Period. I didn't. As long as it was a Parker that said those famous words, "With great power comes great responsibility," I was fine. I was like, it's a Parker that said it. It's not a total stranger or something like that. I was fine. Yeah, just realized that, yeah, the Uncle Ben, there was no Uncle Ben in this worth, but the other Spider-Man did. They mentioned it. Yeah, it was Uncle Ben, and it's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Doctor Doom versus Dark who? Dark Danny. Are we talking about Danny? Man, I ain't messing with Doom. I would never go against Doctor Doom. Wonder Man is one of my favorite characters, but he gets overlooked a lot. Should he be in him? Dude, I want every character in the MCU. I say that all the time. And it's just how they bring him in is the point. I know they were supposed to have brought him in, I think Nathan Fillion was going to play him, and he was still just going to be an actor. But to me, I want Simon Wilson, the ion powered. But that's the point right there. Is how do you bring that character in? You know, in terms of like, okay, how he got his ionic powers, because he's not flesh and blood anymore. He's a being of ionic energy. That's why his eyes are red and things like that. You know, it's how you bring him in. Um, Feige and his team have found ways of bringing these characters in, and you look and you're like, okay, yeah, that's good for the MCU. It's different, you know. With comics, it's easier to do that stuff, but with when you bring in live action, yeah, you gotta kind of tippy toe the lines of reality, and you know, you gotta look at it from that point of view, you know. But I want every Marvel character in the MCU. You name a character, I can tell you right now. Yep. You know, I think I did a video of characters I want to see definitely in MCU. Outside of the X-Men and anything like that, like for example, Tigra, I want to see in the MCU. And I know some people, oh, but see, that probably won't happen because look at what DC did with Cheetah. That's DC. That's them. You got somebody like Kevin Feige who respects the lore of these characters. He'll make it happen. Look at what they did with M'Baku, Manape. I bet a lot of y'all was thinking, oh, is he going to be in the gorilla costume? Nope. The way they portrayed the tribe was very interesting. They still kind of made like a gorilla noise, but it was still, I was like, okay, I get it. It was great. You know, I want to see Man Thing. You know, I want them to get back to Ghost Rider. You know, I want them to do anything possible. Rumor has it they're writing Nova, the real Nova, Richard Rider, Human Rocket. A Nova is coming. And I know you say, oh, but they did the Nova Corps. That's not the Nova. That is not the Nova Corps. That was some low rent budget version of them. I hated how they did the Nova Corps in Guardians. They look like low rent Judge Dreads. No, I want to see the Nova Force powers, them flying around. And then I know there's people that are like, once again, but they just like Green Lantern. Like, but different. Big difference. Big difference. What I love about the Nova Corps compared to the Green Lantern Corps is there's ranking of power. You know, not every core member of the Nova Force is at the same level. Now, when you reach Nova Prime, yeah, you at the top. But there's a Nova Corps man, Nova Centurion. There's different rankings. You don't see that with the Lanterns. It's different. Big difference. Big difference. Let's see. But I do want, yeah, I want Wonder Woman too. I don't think I want to see Nathan Fillion play him, but I want somebody else to play him. I probably have to think of who could play him. Quentin, do you see the? Have I ever seen the Hatchet movies? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. I don't. I'm trying not to be I'm trying not to be a grammar hound, guys. Do you watch MLW? No. They could use a variant for T'Challa in the future. Yep, that's probably what they may do. That's probably what they may do. If it is, that's fine. Look, Kevin may feel differently later on in the years. Like, okay, you know what? We could still honor him, but yeah, we could. But who knows? Who knows? It just right now, he probably saw it. to me, basically, he saw it as this was so sudden because none of us knew this was going to happen. And right now, yeah, nobody's going to replace him. I don't care what anybody says. And I hate when people bring up the whole, well, there's all these different men that played Batman, all these different men that played uh played James Bond and all this other, and then the key element to all that stuff that you guys say, whoever says that, they're not the same character. They're not the same. It's not canon. I don't care what anybody says because Val Kilmer's Batman was not Michael Keaton's Batman. uh, Even though it was, uh, we look at the James Bond, big time. You have, let's say, you have Timothy Dalton, the James Bond of the 80s, and let's just say the James Bond of the 90s, late 90s. They're not the same Bond. They're not. Sean Connery and are not the same. It's not the same. They're not. So I hate when people use that argument. I'm like, no, they're not the same. James Bond has become a title that is given to the next person. And that's it. But when we got T'Challa, no, it's not. Like, for example, let's give it a board. People say, but they changed, Ed Norton and Ed Norton played Bruce Banner and now Mark Ruffalo. But here's the difference. There's only one movie that Ed Norton did. Two, that is this Ruffalo is playing the same Bruce Banner that Ed Norton played. It's not a different Bruce Banner. That's the same one. There's a big difference. Big difference. All I'm saying is, who knows? Feige may change his mind later on. Just respect the man's decision, because as far as I'm concerned, Feige can do anything. I trust what that man is doing. That's why I say in Feige we trust, because that man has not let me down yet. It's not. Everything he has said, he has delivered on. He said, for example, you're going to understand why we took so long to build Thanos up. What happened? Because all I was saying, the moment he gets off that chair, there's going to be a problem. He got off that chair, didn't he? What happened? Yeah. Next up, Ezra Miller is really becoming liability. If they replace him, which actor do you want? You think should replace him? Anybody is better than Ezra Miller. I never cared for him as Flash in the general public. This fool has a lawsuit or a restraining order against him because he threatened. I'm like, this guy's a fucking moron. Like, but the thing about it, Warner Brother ain't gonna do shit about it, because if they did, if they probably would have said, you know what, you're done with Flash. We don't want you. We don't want you a part of this anymore. They would have done the same thing with Amber Heard, and they ain't do shit. Have they? They haven't done jack with her. The moment that lawsuit started happening, I'm Warner Brothers. I would have said that once I would have heard, oh, we're going to relieve Johnny Depp of all his work, I would have been like, well, she needs to get gone too. This double standard bullshit? No, not just him, but her too. Goodbye. I'll get somebody else to play Mira. Hell, I would have been like, hey, Sophie Turner, would you like to be Mira? Let's do it. Can't now because she's pregnant. But yeah, there'd have been many actresses I would have been calling up for Mira. Get out of here. That double standard nonsense, I can't stand that stuff. I can't. Ezra Miller is a. Once I heard he was Flash, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? He's gonna be the youngest member of the Justice League? That's not true." And I couldn't. No, he was no Flash. I love the Flash. That's one of my favorite DC characters. And to see that joke, I'm like, get out of here. Even uh who plays Barry in the show is better than him. What do you hope to see they'll do with Midnight Man in the uh is Midnight Man in the show? I'm not sure. Um I want to see Bushman, but they keep saying like, oh, it'll be too much like Killmonger, and I'm like, no, what are you talking about? They're nothing alike. They're nothing. They be killing me with that stuff. Did you see Nikita Lyons? Yeah, I've seen her before she even made a debut in NXT. Not gonna lie, yeah, she's bad. She got cake. I ain't gonna lie, yeah. Everybody keeps talking. She need to have an OnlyFans account. Yeah, that's good for y'all. Have you have you have you seen how ripped Jonathan Majors has gotten for? Yes, I have. I have seen. I have seen how much he put, how much muscle he's put on for Creed 3. He looks. I was like, damn, he looks great. Um, and I'm looking forward to seeing him as this new version of Kang. This other version, we saw him before, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope they do the costume. It is not implausible to do the Kang look. I'm just give it to him. Like, let's do it. Um, what is the goriest comics that you ever seen? Uh, Invincible is definitely one of them. You talk about gore fest. Whew. Uh, Keanu Reeves comic Berserk. Jesus Christ! If I show stuff in this, I get demonetized big time. Uh, that's another one. Even the original Ninja Turtles comic was seriously gory. The original when they were still under Mirage. Uh, but yeah, it can. Yeah, they can get gory. Uh, they are not going to use Frenchie or Marlena in the show. They will both be represented by new characters, Layla and that's fine. I mean, they kind of gave hints at them. That's fine. Um, I think it's more because of the character, the directors, and all of them. They want to use more representation. Fine, but eventually, it when you have directors of different cultures and stuff, this is what I would tell them. Like, okay, you could do that. I'm okay with that, but you got to also remember the source material. Like, don't forget that. Okay, because the showrunner of Moon Knight is really razzing on Black Adam and stuff, and talking about like why is it being taken place in a fictional city called uh where Black Adam's from, and then that's why I'm like, dude, that's where he's from. That's the source. That's the material. Teth Adam is not Egyptian. Okay, like stop. Like it's different. Like and oh, they shouldn't have got Rock to play him. And this is what I would say to the gentleman, sir. We have been fan casting that guy since day one. There was no other actor that I could see as big and bigger than Rock to play. Like, we're talking size mass to play that. Because all that is not a bodysuit that is being portrayed, and that's all Rock. Okay. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Yes, I do. I have a man crush on Dwayne Johnson. And let me make that perfectly clear. There's a difference between that. That people think, oh, you want to be no, you respect what they do, their hustle, their craft, things like that. Big difference. But yeah, he's one of my man crushes. But yeah, man, like Black Adam was always big. Like you go back and it's that's just the source. And this is DC we're talking about. DC focus on more fictional cities than real cities. That's always been there. That's been there 411 since day one. Yes, there's fictional cities are based off of real cities. Gotham City, for example, Gotham City is based off of even the creator himself. Even um uh not Bob Kane. Um Bill Finger even said where he designed it. A little bit of New York, a little bit of Detroit. Even the name he got it from, it was going to be different. But but if you look at the map of the DC where Gotham is in New Jersey. It's part of New Jersey. It's like, oh shit, like whoa, it's crazy. But it's just like stuff like that. It's to me sometimes if you don't know, educate yourself or just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut your mouth because you don't know what you're talking about. Then I understand you want to have some representation. I get that, but that's DC's 411. They use fictional cities over the real cities. Coast City, Fawcett City, Gotham City, Metropolis. You know, they use fictional cities more. That's been their 411. Marvel, not so much. Why? Simple. Because most of the founders of Marvel are from New York, born and raised. New York is just as much as a character in that universe than anybody else. Do they have, and they use a lot of real cities when these heroes go somewhere else? Are there fictional cities in Marvel? Yes. We saw one in we saw one in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Madripoor. Fake city, fake island nation. But they say it's right near Japan and near Thailand or so. But it was a place where pirates went. It was an unlawful city, lawful place where the law was whoever was ruling it was. That's a fictional city. Sometimes it is good to have fictional cities for comics. Just sometimes that's what sometimes bugs me. Sometimes like, sir, educate yourself or be quiet. Just do one or the other. Let's see. Anything else you can say about the Monkey King? Uh, he's died once and came back to life. Um, he is a god technically. He's kind of like Chinese version of Hercules in a sense. He had to find his way. He became a god at one point because Hercules did become a god at one point. Su Kong. That's uh but more importantly, he's he's described as being more of a joviest of the gods, the Chinese gods. Like he does joke around a lot more. There've been many movies about him. Donnie Yen has played him. Jet Li has played the Monkey King. Um, there's even been a lot of plays about him, uh, and I've actually went to a couple of them. Very nice, really cool. Uh, but yeah, I mean, he's very powerful, and I know there was a game that was about to come out about it. I think it's still in works, but it looks great. He can shapeshift, all kinds. Like, yo, that's good stuff. Look at research. Monkey King is great. Do you think they will have Wanda hook up with Wonder Man in the MCU? That's if they bring Simon in. If they don't, if they do bring him in and they don't hook up, that's fine. You know, she may try to look for Vision again, who now is the white version, which I was happy. I was like, they're gonna bring the white version in. That's cool. Let's see. Do you think we'll see Polaris in the MCU? X-Men characters, yes. I do you think that Marvel Comics should show off a completely new character soon? Wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt. They actually did bring in a new character in Black Panther. There's a new hero from Wakanda, and I was like, whoa, this guy is pretty cool. Go read Black Panther right now. It's actually really good. John Riley writing it. Great Mouse Detective, underrated. Oh yeah, that was a good movie. Like that movie. Do you think Jacob Elordi could play Nightwing or Cyclops or another CB character? I need to see a picture of him. What the hell? Oh, oh. All right, hold on. Oh, okay. There he is. Jacob Elliott is an Australian actor. He is known for his role as Noah Flynn in uh, The Kissing Booth. How tall? He's 24. Whoa. Whoa, he's tall. 6'5". Whoa. He's a little too big to be Nightwing. He is way too big for Nightwing. Dick Grayson is not that tall. Um, man, he's young. Man, he's tall. Yeah, he's tall. Jesus Christ, he's 6'5". Um, yeah, Sykes is tall, but here's the thing: I don't want any young actors playing the X-Men in the MCU. The X-Men should be played by actors in their early 30s to late 30s. I don't want no young actors. If he's gonna play somebody 24, he needs to be somebody else because he is way too big. Man, he's tall. I had no idea he was Jesus Christ. Um, man, dang, he's 6'5". That's a big boy. Let's see. I would probably that would probably have to be a part of my segment that's coming up called Fan Casting 8. New segment that I'm going to be running on my running from my the Patreon account. And so yeah, but I will put it up on YouTube as well. But yeah, Jesus Christ, I did not know he was. Dang, he's tall. Sheesh. Woo, that's a big boy. Uh, yeah, man. Woo. That's a big lad right there. Boy, yeah, definitely somebody else. I mean, like I said, he's 24 now. Whenever maybe by the time if they don't if he hits, oh man, because he's too big for Nightwing. Nightwing, could you imagine if they brought Dick Grayson in towering over Batman? No way, no way. No way. Um, Dick Grayson is not that tall. And and more believable, you would need somebody a little shorter, like maybe in a 6 foot range, but because Dick Grayson's what 6'1", I think, if I'm not mistaken. You got to also play up the fact that Nightwing is he's a carny, he's a gymnast. So seeing somebody that big flip around and that would not be plausible in a sense. Let me see. Nightwing. All right, here he is. Roughly around 25. Okay, I can see why you're saying that. Yeah, I can't remember. He's 5'10", 175 pounds. Okay. But yeah, yeah. The tallest Robin was Jason Todd. He's 6 feet tall. So yeah, he's a little too big. Um, you would need him to be somebody else. And if you want Marvel, yeah, there's probably other characters I could see him playing. Like if that's the case, I would have had him maybe be an Asgardian, like maybe Balder the Brave. If they ever brought Balder in, there you go. There's somebody. Um, or if they bring in maybe Hyperion or somebody like that, somebody like that. I can't see him being Nightwing. Uh-uh. Somebody else. It would have to be somebody else. If MCU and Kevin Feige is really doing a Wolverine live action series, do you think we'll see him team up with Alpha Flight before he joins? Yes, I do. If they did, I've said it before and I'll say it again. When they bring in the X-Men, Wolverine should not be initially on the team. Wolverine, Wolverine, Storm, all those characters should not be on the team until maybe the second movie. The first time we see Wolverine is in his own movie where he's still a part of Alpha Flight. Period. I want to see Alpha Flight. Could you imagine seeing Puck and Guardian and Vindicator and Snowbird and Sasquatch? Oh my God, that'd be so cool. Um, you talk about representation. We could see Marvel's premier Canadian team. Period. Are you going to watch the Elvis Presley biop? Tom Hanks will be in. I saw it. I don't know. I'm not really the biggest Elvis fan. Never have been. Uh, I'm not. Not really. Not really. Uh, Not really. Um, yeah, that's just me. Not really. Uh, you know, uh, the actor playing him looks cool, but never really been a big fan of Elvis. To keep it real, he stole a lot of stuff from a lot of people. He's not truly the king of rock and roll. He's not. There were two guys before him. Hey, sorry I'm late. What did I miss? It's okay. It's all right. Here's one comic I recommend: Shadow of the Bat Girl. Read that. Have it. The little kid in Cobra Kai Dallas, Debris Young, could play Virgil Hawkins or Miles Morales. What do you think? Um, I'm still my choice for Virgil or Miles will always be um will always be oh my god, I'm forgetting his name. Will always be Caleb McCullen from Stranger Things, who played Lucas. Always be that will never change until they acknowledge until they drop the casting for the Static movie. He is always my number one pick. Always. He needs really something to step out of Stranger Things, and playing Static would be perfect. With Miles, I'm going more for an actor who is of Miles, not just a black actor, but is biracial. And don't tell me you can't find that, because you can. Because there are a lot of actors who are of Latin and African, Latino or Afro Latino. There are a lot of Afro Latino young actors out there. There you go. Don't say you can't find it. Don't say no. Don't ever say no. Well, it can't work. No, he needs to be represented exactly how he is represented in the comics. He has a black father and a Puerto Rican mother. Now, have you ever seen someone who is of that culture? Yeah, they kind of look like me. So you can't, don't tell me you can't find that. Uh who's going to be the bad guy in I don't care, because I don't care for the Venom movies. Asking the wrong person that. Somebody even asked me, did I go see Morbius? Hell no. Hell no. I wasn't gonna go see that. Hell no. I didn't give a flying flip about that movie. Didn't give a flying flip about. It's just like no. I didn't see it. They give a flying flip about those movies. I didn't. I don't care. I didn't care about the Venom movies. Damn sure didn't care about the last one. I watched the first one and I was just like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pay money to watch that. And then watched a little bit of the second one with one of my friends, and she turned around and said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Nope." I said, "Nope, I don't like it." I was like, and she turned it off. And I was done. I'm like, "Nope." I will never be okay with a Venom without having some remnants of Spider-Man. Never. I will never be okay with that. Never. And you can say, Chris, you're nitpicking at that, but Venom, the character Venom is so much intertwined with Spider-Man. You can't do that without him. Yeah, they did it, but you can't. I wasn't a fan of even Tom Hardy's portrayal of Eddie Brock. I was just like, no, like just I don't trust Sony. I don't trust them. I don't trust them with the Craven movie. I don't trust them with the Madam Web movie. I'm like, they're just throwing shit at the wall just to see what sticks. I'm looking at that. I'm like, what story are they gonna tell with Madam Web? Huh? What are they gonna tell? What are they gonna tell? The Craven, I'm looking at it too. I'm like, okay, are they going to explain why he's the way, why he became this hunter and everything like that? But still, at the end of the day, it still comes down to Craven realized that he has hunted but once he saw Spider-Man, it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's like, just throw shit at the wall. See what sticks. Now, as for Into the Spider-Verse, oh yeah, I'm going to see that. They seem to do well with the animated stuff. But the live action stuff, I can give two flying craps about. That Morbius, I saw that trailer for Morbius. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And from what I heard, sorry, those little teasers that with the whole Michael Keaton, I heard they cut those out. Stupid. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't care for the Venom movies. I don't. Do you see Danny Phantom joining the Teen Titans and the Just League Dark? I can see him joining both. For the Wolverine game, do you think Mr. Sinister could make an appearance? Yes, I do. Let's see. Moving on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Where was I? Damn, went up. I didn't even see. Oh, okay. Here we go. After rewatching Silver Surfer cartoon, I like how they had Silver Surfer talk in the Shakespearean kind of even the way even them. Yeah, they really went on the symbolic like Macbeth talk. The cartoon felt like a no, I felt like a soap opera. It did. It felt more like a Shakespearean soap opera. There were it was okay for its time, but you know the way Lawrence Fishburne voiced him was fine. You know, I mean, there's a lot of people that wish, even including me, who wish Chris Hemsworth's Thor would talk more like, the way he talks in the comics, or how he talked in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. More of that kind of speech. Thor. I am Thor, God of Thunder. By the beards, by the things like that. But it's a different generation. It is what it is. Last question. Okay, what do you think of a crossover Godzilla MonsterVerse versus DM's Marvel? If that could happen, I'd watch it. Like awesome in a. Do you think Galactus will Galactus basically in terms of the size? Galactus better be the big giant that he is. Like, don't give me a cloud. It is time for Galactus, for Doctor Doom, for I'll just leave it them two for now, to get redemption big time in the MCU. When they bring in, the moment I see Galactus's favorite herald come near Earth's atmosphere, or matter of fact, I can see it right now. They do the Fantastic Four movie. The end credit is the Fantastic Four in the Baxter Building. They talking about, think blah, 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 blah. Having a good time, family stuff, maybe having a barbecue. Pans out. Pans out. Pans out. Past the Earth's atmosphere. Maybe gets right towards the moon. And you just see a man on a surfboard just watching it. End credit. Because we know what's coming next. Big G. He better be, if you could, you just said it. If they can do they just already did the oh shoot. God, my God, how am I forget? I'm blanking out on these characters' names. Shit. Okay. Oh, see, I'm gonna be pissed if I don't get these things names right. Um, the Celestials. There we go. There we go. The Celestials. They were giant, huge. That's what they are. That you saw in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a head of an Eternal that they were flying into. Hell, even in the comics right now, the Avengers headquarters is inside a dead Eternal, frozen. That's where their headquarters. It's not Avengers Tower anymore or the mansion. It's it's called Avengers Mountain. If they did that with the Eternal, with the Celestials, they better do that with Galactus. There's no way. If Feige does anything, if they he does a cloud, I'm gonna be pissed. And don't say that you wouldn't either. Don't say that you wouldn't, because the moment I see Surfer comes, says my master, and all you see is a cloud, another bullshit. Don't even come ask me what do I think of it, Chris, because I may be so upset I may curse you out by accident. And I'll apologize later on, but I'm like, don't talk to me right now. They better not. Kevin, he knows better. He knows better not to do that. Because I think he knows everybody wants to see Galactus in the MCU, and they know he knows we want to see big giant helmet, chink up, devourer of worlds. We don't want to see a cloud that shapes when going past the moon. He takes the shape of Galactus's helmet. No way. No way. Same thing with Doctor Doom. I don't want to see Gillian McMahon's Doctor Doom, that pussyfoot version right there. If I swear to God, sorry, I promise you, all Feige has to do somewhat is look at how they portray Darth Vader. That's your Doctor Doom right there, but just worse. I'm talking Doctor Doom better have his own theme. The moment he steps on camera, it should be all eyes on me. Period. None of this crap that we saw in Gillian McMahon. I hate it. And that garbage version that we saw in that last movie, which I didn't see, but the moment I saw his look, I wanted to throw up, and I went to a gym and started punching bags because I was so pissed off at that. I was like, I need to work out some anger right now. I was kicking and punching. I was like, nope, that was ridiculous. Disgusting. Sorry. David, see that Marvel is going to do a comic run for Spider-Punk and his world's version of Captain America. Yeah, comes out next week, comes out this week. It's a mini series, Spider-Punk. Because remember, Spider-Punk is a Spider-Man, but he's Hobie Brown. That's a different version of Hobie Brown. I am gonna read it. I will be reviewing it on the channel when I finish reading it. So yeah, I will review it. I know a lot of you guys have enjoyed me doing the comic reviews again. They're different now because usually I review what I want to review, what I feel like I should review more than just reviewing my whole stash. Because some of the books, after a while, I went back and started looking at some my old comic reviews. I'm like, you know what? When I saw people writing like their thoughts on it, it was only for certain books. Some of them said, "Well, I don't read this. I never read that. I don't know what's going on." But it was okay. I got people now, who like there's one of my pack members, Lorenzo Smalls. He comes through on a lot of the Marvel comic reviews, and I even asked him, like, I got other, and he said straight up, he's like, I've never been really a fan of DC. I only read Marvel. So whenever you review Marvel stuff, I'm gonna be there. I'm like, hey, that's fine. I'm not gonna ask you why you don't read DC. Is hey, if you prefer Marvel over DC, that's fine. I'm not gonna hate you for it. But you got people, once again, going back to that tribalism crap. Yeah, you got people out there that act like that. I am not one of those people. Do you like the 2019 Hellboy movie? Never watched it. So I can't I'll have to watch it. I've never watched it yet. Do you think that Sabretooth has had as many bastard kids around the world as Wolverine over the years? Okay. All right, let's talk about that because the kids Wolverine don't know about all his kids. Not all of them. He had a child with one of the he had a child with one of the fall people from the Savage Land. He doesn't know about. He had even Dawkins. He didn't know about Dawkins until Dawkins came looking for him. He had no clue. Gabby and Laura are basically clones of him, but those are still his daughters, and he cares for them very much. Um, but he's in their lives. Big difference. Sabretooth has a few kids, if I remember. I know he had one with Mystique, I believe. One with Mystique. Great and Creed. I think that's. But could you imagine Sabretooth ain't no father figure? He ain't no father figure. Sabretooth raped Silver Fox, Wolverine's girlfriend. You think he cares about kids? Please. So answer probably does have more kids. William, hey kid, I should have mentioned this since I about to hit the big 40 in a few months. Exercise, workout, and eat less meat. Eat vegetables and fruit. Drink water and meditate and don't sleep too much. uh, Thanks. I mean, thanks. I guess I've always had a steady diet, so that's never been a problem. And I do drink more water than I ever drink now, so I've been doing that as of late. So yeah, it's never but my metabolism is real different. It's like fast, like I just pops off. It's funny. Travis, who should play Dazzler? That's a good question. Who should play Allison? Um, Now, see, this is where I would not mind if they got maybe a actress who is also a singer to play Dazzler. And no, I'm not talking about Lady Gaga or somebody like that. Um, but you're definitely going to need somebody who is a singer and who is also who can when she's on camera she will glow because Dazzler glows. You know. No spoilers, but how do you feel about how Marvel did Ben Spider-Man at the end? Uh, I'm fine with it. You know, we'll see where this goes. It's an interesting idea. Not going to spoil too much, but it's a very interesting idea. You know, I've never been the biggest fan of Ben Riley. Really, I haven't. Just clones. When you do a clone stuff, it's kind of to me it's kind of lazy. It's like, oh, let's do a clone. Um, let's do a clone of a character and let's see what happens. I never was a fan of it. Even when they did the clone, I don't like the Clone Saga period. But I've hated that, and I've hated that storyline from the get go. Then this trying to give us to believe that Peter Parker was the real clone all along. Like, huh? Like, that was so stupid. I hate that stuff. I was like, wait, what? No, he's not the clone. Just get out of here. What are your opinions on the Court of Owls? They were all right. You know, it was an interesting idea. Like, these are people who've been around for years. They're you know, it was interesting. I think they've overdone it in terms of, you know, medium. Like, they really started pushing that real quick. I mean, after they debuted in the comics, like, it didn't even take a year for them to incorporate it into like Gotham and stuff like that. I was like, Jesus Christ, they ain't even been out a year yet. You know, they're about to be incorporated into season 2 of the Batman, the animated adventures comic. So we're gonna see how Bruce Timm and them would have incorporated them into the original Batman series if it had continued. I'm interested, but they're okay. You know, don't hate them. Do you want to see the Beyonder again? What did I just say? What did I just say? I want to see every Marvel character in the MCU. No offense. For Nova, there are rumors that they might use. No, they'd be stupid not to use Richard Rider. I haven't heard those rumors at all. Where's the source of that one? All I've heard is they're writing a script. Nothing more. I haven't heard any rumors of Sam Alexander, and they'd be stupid not to use Richard Rider. That'd be dumb. That's like doing a dark Hawk series without Chris Powell. You crazy? Like, get out of here. That's stupid. They wouldn't do that. They would not do that. They could, but it'd be stupid because Sam Alexander is not the same Nova. He's not even from the same core that Richard Rider's from. It is very possible that Norman Reedus could play Johnny Blaze, and if true, what do you think of that casting? That I'll be fine with him playing Johnny. I kind of always saw him more as Dan Kench, his brother, instead. You know, I know there's still rumors that Marvel wants Keanu Reeves as well. So I even said Keanu could play Johnny Blaze and Norman could play Dan Kench. But I'm fine with it. Did you like Dark? Come on, what the hell? I saw it. Did I like Dark? I saw it. Where'd it go? I just saw that comment. Where'd it go? Spectre. Oh, Jesus. Oh, where did I lose it? Where did I lose it? Oh, did you like Darkman movie series? I love the first one. When Arnold Vosloo took over the roles in the next 2 movies, they were okay. But I did enjoy Darkman. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind that getting some kind of remake or reboot. You know, that's what assassin from DC do you think? Do you see Spidey having a hard time on her? Is that what you're saying? Deathstroke a little bit, maybe. Just because of how he thinks. Deathstroke thinks very fast. I forgot to mention about film to TV shows a while ago. Terminator from Dusk Till Dawn, Teen Wolf. La Femme Nikita, Hannibal, Stargate, Buffy the Vampire, Fargo. Honestly, I have not watched them. I honestly have not watched them. Opinion. You never watched any of those. I recommend Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf, because it's nothing like Teen Wolf is nothing like the what we saw with Michael J. Fox and Jason Bateman. It's not a joke. It's not played off as a joke. It's more of a serious supernatural teen drama. La Femme Nikita uh was pretty good. That was back in the early 90s. That was I'm forgetting her name who played her, but it was pretty good. Hannibal was good. Stargate was fun. I love that. Buffy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was great because that's where they really Josh Whedon really got to shine and push more of an emphasis on what we didn't see in the movie with Christy Swanson and Donald Sutherland. And then of course the great spinoff of Angel came out after that. So never watched Fargo, I'll say that right there. Terminator, I enjoyed, and I've never watched the From Dusk Till Dawn series, but yeah, I recommend those. What mine's it? Congratulations to 80th stream. Have liked your last 5 or 4 streams. Been milestone anniversaries and birthday. Yeah, thanks. William, also Revenge of the Nerds TV series, Ash versus Evil Dead. There was a Revenge of the Nerds TV series. I don't remember that. Ash and the Evil Dead was great. I wish that didn't get canceled. I was loving that. Amber single-handedly destroyed our chances to see Johnny Depp continue Pirates of the Caribbean. Like I said, there's nobody who can play that role better than Johnny Depp. He made Captain Jack Sparrow. Period. Because of her bullshit, where I don't understand how these courts work because it's on goddamn tape of her even saying you could tell them, but they're not going to believe you because there's this stupid stereotype, stupid mentality in this world that a woman can't abuse men, a woman can't rape a man. All this stupid double standard nonsense. That shit can happen. It can happen, but the courts, they're always going to say that same nonsense. But you're a man. Why you're bigger than her? These are cases that have actually happened in real life. A man was raped by 3 women, and it was not too long ago. Right here in New York, it happened, and hell, even Law and Order SVU did a story on it, where they get a lot of their stories from, and they build it up the same way. Hell, even currently right now, one of the big things that people seem to is the whole thing that happened with Terry Crews. Terry Crews like came out and said, "Yeah, it was," and nobody and people make fun of him because of that. The male human body, especially our friend in between our legs, all right, don't operate because we want it to operate. It operates because the sensations, and we ain't in control of that. If you get drugged, man gets drugged, and a woman takes advantage of that. What's that? What is that? What is that called? What is that called? You got date raped. You got roofied. But what's that double standard bullshit that I can't stand. That's what's going on with Mr. Depp. right now. That double standard garbage. Everything is going downhill for him, but that his ex-wife is still working. I'm like, give me a fucking break. She should have been fired straight right away. Straight fired. Once they found out, when they instantly said, "Oh wait, you like seriously, get out of here." She wasn't even that good as Mira anyway. She wasn't. Do you think we'll see Serpent Society be done in him? Yeah. Yep. If they can do Flag Smasher the way they did Flag Smasher in the MCU, I could see this Serpent Society. I could see them doing it because that's actually one of the antagonists I want to see Sam deal with as Captain America. I want him to deal with the Serpent Society. I want that. I want that so bad for him. They were actually supposed to be in the third Captain America movie. The original title for Captain America 3 was Captain America and the Serpent Society. Yeah, definitely want to see Serpent. Ezra Miller is having lawsuits. Amber Heard is still getting work. Henry Cavill not having another chance. Ben Affleck is out. Man, DC is a big mess. It is a big mess. It boggles my mind that Henry Cavill is not still Superman. Was he a bad Superman? Hell no, he wasn't. Did he have bad material? Hell yeah, he did. But he was not a bad Superman. The fact that this man has said, I still have the costume in my closet, just waiting for them to say when. That's dedication. But the man still works. He's still got good things going. But if I'm Marvel, I'm Kevin Feige, I'm keeping in contact. He is on my list of actors that, yeah, DC's loss could be Marvel's fucking game. Because there are characters I can see Henry Cavill playing in the Marvel Universe, and period. They could, because if they're not going to bring him back, because I've already heard stories that the Supergirl that is going to be in the Flash is to replace Superman, period. I'm like, wait, what? Like all these rumors I'm hearing about what the Flash movie is really going to do is scaring me. Like, no, that's stupid. That's stupid. Because yes, the Batman that we saw, you see in this new Batman, has nothing to do with the DCEU Earth. That is, they have already said that is a different Earth. They made that perfectly clear. People keep saying no, they did. Yes, they did. They said that at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con way back. That is not, you won't see Superman in that universe or anything like that. Period. Fine. But it seems that Ben Affleck is going to be replaced with Michael Keaton's Batman again, because Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be in the Batgirl movie. It's like, wait, what the freak is going on? It's like, it's just like they can't just have somebody standard with the blueprint. Okay, this is what's going to happen. That is why, no matter what, I don't care what anybody says. That's why the MCU is better than the DCU. If you come on and say, well, no, it ain't because they get to curse and everything like that, who the goddamn care about the cussing? I don't give two craps about that. I don't care about that. I don't care if they curse. I don't care. Oh, they can show blood. I don't care. Huh? Oh, they do more mature theme. Huh? What has been these last couple of series? Mature. Okay, yeah, you keep thinking like that. And you know why? Is because they got a man with the plan and he executes it. He gets they have a general, there's a king, and that king has his generals, And those generals have their subordinates, and it's working for them. And it's been working for them ever since. DC, also, you got to remember, they're still under Warner Brothers. And then you can say, well, Marvel is under Disney, but Disney don't interfere with them. Disney does not interfere with any of their stuff. They give them the money, they do the movie, that's it. You don't Disney, you see Warner Brothers, they have to have their eyes in everything. And that's terrible. And that's bad. The only character I think they won't do that bullshit with is Batman. And why? Why? Let me tell you why. Because they are so far off that character's dick. They'll do anything for him. That's why you see more of that character movies than any other character. That's why I've said it before and I'll say it again. They had to change DC to BC because they are so far up that character's dick. And this is a guy who likes Batman very much, but the time and effort they put more into that character than anybody else, including the real flag bearer of that universe, Superman, is ridiculous. Is ridiculous. That is why Marvel right now beats them in cinematic. Are there DC movies that I'm looking forward to? Yes. Yes, there is. I'm looking forward to seeing the next Captain Marvel movie. Okay. Aquaman, I may boycott it because of that. I don't want to say it, but of her. Okay. Because of her. I'm hoping the Blue Beetle movie is good because I want to see that too. I've seen images of the Batgirl. I'll watch it. Okay. Black Adam, yeah. I want to see the JSA, some version of them, because they're going to be in that. But it's just they're just tumbling all over the place. They really are. They don't have a plan. You got a plan, it works. It works better. Remember when they had some sort of a plan? Like, okay, this is the movies that are going to come out. Talking about, yeah, we're going to do The Flash, we're going to do Cyborg, Wonder Woman 2, Justice League 2, all that stuff. Good luck with that, right? Didn't work out. Sad. Sad. Very sad. Love that Patterson's Batman had his no kill rule. What about you? I was fine with it. I was fine with it. I was fine with it. I just loved when he walked. Like you could tell that it was supposed to mean that the suit was heavy, and it was because it was bulletproof. Like, but just every time he walked, it was boom, boom. I was like, yeah, that matters. Patterson was a good version of Bruce Wayne too, which was really good. I really enjoyed that movie very much. I just wanted more Alfred. I was a little disappointed at that. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't care for Invincible. I'm sorry, but I just couldn't get into it. Not a lot of people. I mean, if you've read the comics, you would probably understand a lot more. But I'm happy that another one of Kurtman's creations was able to get some kind of spotlight outside of comics. Now I'm looking forward to him. I'm looking for his Astonishing Wolfman. I would love to see that. Mark Grayson had 2 kids. Yeah, I believe he did. Who was the best comic? Dark Horse. Who has the best comics? Dark Horse or Image? Currently, right now, I'm gonna say Image. I don't read a lot of Dark Horse. There's not a lot of Dark Horse comics I read outside of there's been a few, but I read more Image comics than Dark Horse, especially like Radiant Black. Oh my god, that is so good. Matt Reeves thinks about maybe doing the Court of Owls or Hush storyline. Do you think he should do one of them or another storyline? Yeah, he kind of gave hints at Hush. He's talked about Hush. He's talked about maybe Mr. Freeze or somebody like that, but it don't seem like they want to do characters with powers. He wants to be more grounded, and but the Court of Owls have abilities. They're stronger than normal people. They basically are immortal. So you got to do that somewhat. Gore's comment for me would be Crossed. The series is seriously fucked up. Instead of flesh-eating zombies, is violent psychos. I think I've heard of that. Never read it. Matt Reeves also wants to do Mr. I just said that, Mr. Freeze. So Stone Cold had one more match over the weekend. Did you also shed a few tears? Also, were you also baffled at Vince's crazy match? Didn't shed a tear. I was just happy to see him. Yeah, he could do it. The Vince McMahon stuff was stupid. That was dumb. That was just dumb, and just even the more I watched it, like just watching that alone, it just seems to me, it's just like, to me, what looking at Vince McMahon now, just I hate to say it, but it really looks like he is just fighting to keep death at bay. I'm serious. He looks just unhealthy. He looks just tired. He looks like he has sleep deprivation. Like you can look in his eyes. It's like, because the man don't sleep a lot. He don't. He doesn't sleep. Your body needs sleep. And from what I hear, he only gets like 2 hours of sleep a day. You crazy? You crazy? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, you couldn't just have Pat McAfee have his moment. You had to do that. That was dumb. That was so stupid. And that stunner that he took, oh my God. It was like, Vince, come here. Come here. It just looked weird. I was just like, that was ridiculous. I stopped watching Gotham after season 1. I stopped watching Gotham when they did the Red Hood stupidness. I was done. I was done with that. I was like, yeah. And this new Gotham Knights, that's coming series that's coming out. I don't even know. I'm gonna check that out, because it's like no Dick Grayson, no Jason Todd, no Tim Drake, no Babs. And who is this? They keep saying his son. So it means, is this series revolving around little Damian Wayne? Because I don't like Damian Wayne. Stephanie Brown is going to be in it, but it's more about, looks like I'm just going to say Damian Wayne teaming up with kids of villains of Batman. Yeah. Whatever. Who's more dangerous, the Hand, the Foot, or Legion of Assassins? Tie between the Hand and Legion of Assassins. The Foot is not dangerous. Shredder's dangerous. There you go. New York, Chicago, Detroit makes Gotham throughout the comics. You can run. Yeah, those are the three cities that are really what you can look at. That's where Bill Finger got the idea for Gotham from. He took a little bit of New York, took a little bit of Chicago and Detroit. Period. There's no other cities that are not. You could clearly see that. Also, have to ask if you saw Raw after minute. I did. I talked about that. I did. Yeah, I did watch that. I did. I didn't like the ending though. Grimlock from Transformer versus Bebop and Rocksteady for. Huh? Grimlock, big robot versus small mutant rhino and warthog. Really? Think about that for a second. Just let that sink in for a minute, Quentin. Let that sink in. I'm not joking. I'm not teasing you, but just let that sink in. Giant robot versus little Rhino and Warthog Mutant. I see that Metallica shirt. What are your honest thoughts on no metal album Saint Anger? I love I love Saint Anger. Was I love that song. I'm a Metallica fan. I love Metallica. Um, my favorite album is probably Ride the Lightning. I think that's my favorite. But I have so many favorite. I have a playlist. I can show it to you right now. Um, on my iTunes, made a playlist. There you go. That's my playlist. My top 50 Metallica songs is a playlist I made on my iTunes. It's 50 of my favorite songs, like I Disappear, Mama Said, uh, One, Enter the Sandman, of course. Saint Anger, Suicide and Redemption, uh, Hero of the Day, uh, Shoot Me Again. I have so many Metallica songs, it's crazy. Uh, Probably one of my Fight Fire, Wet Fire, Fight Fire. Oh shit, get me into that shit. Yeah. So anytime I hear a commercial or a trailer use one of their songs, I'm into it. I'm like, yeah. That's why I was so happy when the Punisher used, ooh, and played it with. That was good stuff right there. Yeah. So yeah, Saint Anger, good stuff. But yeah, I'm a Metallica fan through and through. I'll be a Metallica fan to the day I die. Um, which one? Yeah, see, going back to the Metallica stuff, I'm kind of glad somebody asked me that question because there are a lot of people out here that will rock these kind of shirts, and I'm out in public and I see it, I'm gonna instantly point you out. I'm like, "What's your favorite song?" And if you say to me, I don't know their music. Oh, that's a band. I'm gonna give you the worst stink eye that I ever gave anybody because I'm like to me I that's where the hurricanes start coming out of me again. I'm like, what the fuck are you wearing that shirt for? Like it's you know I'm serious. Like sometimes I'll get like that. Malcolm knows that. No, what do you do? Like I see somebody wearing like Michael Jackson shirt, and I'm like, what's your favorite song? And they say I don't really like him. Stink eye coming out real quick. It almost looks like Jigen from remember Samurai Shampoo. Jigen Genji, he gave you that. That's me. I'm like, what? Like, I'm kind of like that. Like, so when I rock shirts, guys, that means I am a fan. I don't rock anything that I'm not a fan of. Because it looks nice and everything like that. No, I rock it because I like it. Like hearing people say they don't know who Prince is, I will slap you. I'm not even joking. I went back, guys, and started. I went back and I started watching my reactions to um, the React channel um, of the kids, all the music stuff, and I'm watching it back, and I'm like, and it's still there. It's still there. People thought I was like joking around with some of that stuff. Like, no, that's legit. When they were saying like, I don't know, Prince. God, what? What? Like, no, or no. It's just like I got problems. Which one of the Guardians do you think will die in the third movie? Drax. I've been playing Act Riser and loving it. What old school games What old school games should they remaster or remake? One for me would have to be because it actually celebrated its 25th birthday. Parasite Eve. I was not last week. I was watching the first trailer to that move to that game, and I'm like, man, they could so remake this game like they did Final Fantasy VII. Oh, they need to do that. Parasite Eve, what a game! Loved it. Scary because of what it was doing, but yes, that's one of them. I might do a list. It might not be on this channel. It may be on. It may be on the maybe on my gaming channel, which I'm about to start putting up some new content on that channel. Um, it may be there. I might put it there, but yeah, games I would not mind a remastered or remake of. Parasite Eve is one of them. Grimlock would win hands down. Yeah, and that's why I didn't answer because what's the difference between mutants and metahumans? Are we talking in the Marvel universe? Because in the Marvel universe, a metahuman is just a enhanced human, a human that has enhancements or abilities. Mutants were born with their abilities. There's a big difference. There's a difference. But if we're talking DC, yeah, metahumans are just mutants. That's all they are. That's all they are. It's plain. That's all they are. Because that's all they are. They just don't say mutants. I guess it's maybe because when you think mutants, you're thinking, oh, it's gross, things like that. But even in the mutant, in even in with the X-Men, do any of them look hideous or grotesque? Not all of them. Even the Morlocks. Not all the Morlocks look hideous. That's why it bothers me sometimes about we Morlocks look too deformed to walk. No, you don't. Callisto, for example, what's so hideous about you? You wear an eye patch? So, like, even like for example, a good example, like 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 Nightcrawler is a good example. He looks like a demon, but he's got the heart of an angel. If I saw Nightcrawler in real life, I wouldn't run. Wouldn't run. I'd come up to him like, is that? I would probably say, is that really your skin? Like, can I? I would ask, can I touch it? Like, is that tail real? Can you move? And then if he moves it, yeah, see, he moves. Whoa, like things like that. If it was a female, I'd be like, hey, you look kind of hot. Like I'm just saying, that's kind of cool looking, But it's just weird. It's just in the DC they call mutants metahumans. That's simple, but it's like they were born with their abilities, just like mutants in the Marvel universe. Just it's just the way when you think about it, mutants make it seem like they're supposed to be hideous. Even like the turtles. Like what's so hideous about them? They're just humanoid turtles. To me, turtles aren't ugly. They aren't. I look at turtles. I'm like, okay, have you ever touched a turtle? You ever touched one of them? You ever petted a tortoise or so? Their skin is really smooth. Like I've actually petted one of those big Galapagos turtles at the zoo once. Touched, I was like, yo, it's actually soft. Like wasn't dry. Now the only ones I will not really mess with some big gator snapping turtles. Like, I ain't messing with those. Like, keep that away from me. You see them, like they're just standing there with their mouth open, like just waiting for you to. That the bite force alone is scary. That is scary strength. I love Edge's new theme, and gimmick. You also see Ministry of Darkness, the Brood vibes. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Um, in terms of Damian Priest being on it, it works. He needs something like that. Rhea Ripley should be on the team as well. If they put a female on it, Rhea Ripley is definitely who I'm going with for that. And um, if he's coming up to the main roster, I would add Tommaso Ciampa on that team. I love that Edge even hinted at Damian Priest's old name. Like they called, he's like he's going to be the punishment to those in Damian Priest before he came to WWE and on the indie circuit and Ring of Honor. He was called Punishment Martinez. So I was glad that he mentioned that. I like that hint. So yeah, I can see Jacob playing Guardian from. Okay, see, yeah, he's just too young. He's right now. He's just way too young. He needs to get a little older because Guardian. Yeah, you know, I don't mind Alpha Flight. You're gonna need, but yeah, it's like uh and don't give me this grub, but well, you gotta get a Canadian to play those roles. What does a Canadian look like? Hmm? That right there is going to be the first question I'll ask anybody who asks me that stupid question right there. What does a Canadian look like? Because the actor who plays Shang-Chi, Simon Liu, is technically Canadian with Chinese descent. Canadians are just like us Americans. We come in all different shapes and cultures, and so it's stupid. It's stupid when you say that stuff. Like I've heard people say stuff stupid like that, and I look at them like, huh? Like, what's that mean? What does that mean? Like, what are they supposed to look like? If I guarantee, right? Okay, here's another. If Ryan Reynolds never said he was Canadian, nobody would have known that. They would have probably thought he was American. I guarantee some of y'all probably thought he was American. I did. Never knew he was Canadian. Never. Until hell, I've even said it straight up. I thought Ryan Reynolds was related to Burt Reynolds. Because I'm like, he kind of looks like Burt Reynolds. I was like, but I was wrong. They're not related. Oh man. All right. But yeah, the Damian Priest stuff is great, Will. I mean, and Edge stuff is great. If this is building up to AJ and AJ and Finn teaming up together, maybe to form a new version of the Bullet Club, I'll be down because they were the last two leaders of the Bullet Club. That'd be great. I'm watching a WWE documentary on Randy Orton's rise. His match with Mick Foley is what helped him make the megastar. Yeah, you see what Mick Foley has done for a lot of people. That's why I will never discredit that man's uh, work in professional wrestling. Since Raimi is directing Doctor Strange, Bruce Campbell will make a cameo. What character do you hope to see him play? A different version of Doctor Strange, or somebody he said he would love to play as a different variation of Nick Fury. That's what he said. Fact him say that. Madam Web is getting a movie. Why? Yeah, she's getting a movie. Sony is doing it. Stupid. Bruce Campbell just be Ash always. That's his character. He did show up in the comics. Would you like to see a story of Rogue and Gambit being parents? Uh, yeah, I mean they're married, so I mean I would if they ever have. If they announced that Rogue is pregnant with Gambit's child, could you imagine the powers that baby's gonna have? I wouldn't mind. I gotta go, Chris. Take care. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Uh, we're about to wrap this up anyway. I know the Jessica Alba Fantastic Four movies are fun, but not good. But would you be open to Doug Jones and Lawrence Fishburne, Silver Surfer showing up in the MCU in the Fantastic Four? Nope, I would not mind that at all. I would not mind that at all. If Doug Jones returned as the model of Silver Surfer, and Lawrence Fishburne is voicing him, no, I wouldn't. I know Lawrence Fishburne plays Bill Foster in the MCU, Black Goliath, uh, but older. But I wouldn't mind because Lawrence Fishburne has said he is a Marvel guy. That was those are what he read. He's a Marvel guy, so he would be all for. He's producing. He's executive producer for the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur cartoon coming out. He's working a lot with Marvel. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I would. I just want Surfer in the MCU. Doctor Doom should have a standalone film. He's too big a character. Uh well, Thanos is too big of a character. Did he get his own solo movie? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't need it. And the thing is, at the end of the day, he is a villain, and you're not going to see too much villain movies. They're not doing that. They're not. You know, and people say, "But Loki, they did Loki." Loki, he's not a villain. He's not really a villain. He's transcended from that whole role of a villain. Let's see. Moving on. Oh my God, I could see that with Silver Surfer looking at Earth. But looking, yeah, I'm just saying it'd be cool. Out of the four Ninja Turtles, who's the biggest eater? My favorite, Mikey. That's easy. What's the most ridiculous pizza topping you've had or seen? I've the most ridiculous. I don't know if it's ridiculous, but I've actually put Nutella on my pizza one time, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. I was like, okay, that's all right. Most people say what's ridiculous for me is when I put pineapple on my pizza. I will put pineapples. My pineapple and sausage is what I put on my pizza. That's a topping that I will put. Um, uh, and I like it. I like it. It's good. But I put Nutella on my pizza. I put honey on my pizza. I've seen people have egg on their pizza. I'm like okay. Um, I've seen some toppings that I've never tried, but I see people else eat it. Like barbecue chicken, like literally with barbecue sauce and everything on it. But for me, I never really seen ridiculous. Like ridiculous meaning like that shouldn't go on a pizza. People say that about pineapple. It doesn't belong on pizza. They call me crazy for it. I'm crazy. There you go. Connor Kent is kind of a Superman, right? Is he the exception to your thoughts on clones? Um, I like Connor because they've given him time. He's a clone of Superman and Lex, but he chose the path of good, and he's a good character. My issue with Ben Riley is he is just Peter with all the memories of Peter. Of course, he's a clone, but Connor didn't have any kind of memory. What made Connor so good, he was always fighting that path or trying to work that path of like, I'm I'm Superman. I have of Superman, but I also have Lex. So it's almost like a dynamic. Should I be this way or should I not be this way? In the beginning, I didn't like Connor because he was cocky and that, remember 90s Superboy, with the leather jacket and the hated that version. But once he took that off and just had the one wristband and the jeans and the black shirt with the, love that. Him and Tim Drake, I was loving that. That was good stuff. And he's still around now. He's still a good character. Connor is not the only exception of the clone stuff, but Laura, X-23, Gabby, Honey Badger, she calls herself. Those are some others, but with Ben Riley, I looked at it as like, okay, you're just Peter. Even Kane, you're just clones of who you still have Peter's life. You just dyed your hair blonde and everything like that. And in the series, the Beyond Saga, that I didn't like Ben that much. I was like, it was almost like he was desperate. He was like, he needs to be Spider-Man. And it was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you have your own persona. You're the Scarlet Spider. That's what you should have been. That's why I was like, this ain't gonna last. Like, they've done this shit before. Like, it don't last. The only way it's just like, you're not Spider-Man. You're a Spider-Man. You're the Scarlet Spider. That was your identity, not Spider-Man. You're the Scarlet Spider. And then Kane Parker took it over as his version of the Scarlet Spider. It's just weird. It's weird. But they're all part of the web of spiders, though. Okay. Are you watching Lois? Yes, I am watching that. It's one of the best DC shows on CW. Please get your last questions, guys, because we're gonna wrap this up soon. I might like Ben Riley, and while I may be more lenient than most, I don't like the clones. I hate the Clone Saga. It's one of the storylines I hate. Can the Ghost Rider eyes work on the? You mean the penance stare? That works on anybody. Penance stare will work on anybody. If they do a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot, I would like to see Buffy in the European countries like Scotland and Italy. Focus on more of like, Sarah Michelle Gellar already said who she would want to, if they do a reboot, who she wants to play Buffy. Y'all want to know? She wants Zendaya. That would be a big she would be a tall Buffy. I keep forgetting Zendaya is 5 foot. She's almost 6 feet tall. I forget she's that tall. But yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar has openly said, yeah, that's who she would want to be cast as Buffy. It's funny because there was also like a fan casting for Zendaya to be the daughter of Vivica Fox's character in Kill Bill. She was that was her, the little girl. She comes for revenge against Uma Thurman, as Beatrice Kiddo. But then I'm like, I don't want that, because then the cycle is just going to continue. Because, okay, let's say that happens. She kills Beatrice, who's now older and everything like that. Her daughters, it's just a cycle. It's where it's going to end. I'm literally getting back into the 90s Peter Wilson. There we go. Thank you. That's who I was trying to remember. Peter Wilson. Peter Wilson, Canadian TV show, La Femme Nikita on Tubi. Have you seen it? Yeah. La Femme Nikita used to be on the USA Network back in the early 90s. That's where it aired. It aired on the USA Network. It was one of those shows that aired along like Silk Stockings and all those shows, those early USA Network shows, which I did watch. Silk Stockings was a very interesting cop drama. It had that serious theme, boom, 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 doom, doom, doom. It was crazy. What did you think of Maggie Q's version? I like Maggie Q's version too. I thought that was cool. I like Maggie Q in general. Um, she's another actress I would want in the MCU. I always thought she could have been like Colleen Wing. I always thought she could have been Colleen Wing for sure. Also, our Americanized version of M.V.K. Point of No Return was awesome. Have you seen the original French film? Yes, I have. I've seen the original. Um, Henry Cavill playing being Colossus, the man, the man loved working out. Colossus, I would need a bigger actor to play Peter because people forget Peter is big regardless of when he puts his metal skin on. He just gets bigger. I don't need him to be overly big, but he needs to be bigger. Um, Henry Cavill, one of the characters I can see Henry Cavill playing is Brian Braddock, Captain Britain. There you go. There's one right there. A lot of people said him being the Sentry. No, because I don't want to hate him. I hate the Sentry. Hate the Sentry. Some people said maybe he could be Cyclops. I would take that in a heartbeat. Henry Cavill as Scott Summers, I'd take that. I'd take that in a heartbeat. Or Henry Cavill could be Gladiator. I like Clark. I like Clark. I wouldn't mind him, but I would kind of steer him away from Superman-esque characters outside of Captain Britain because Captain Britain has his powers are magical. And it's not like Superman or anything like that. Not saying they couldn't work. It's just I would kind of keep him away from that stuff. WB plus DC equals BS. Pretty much. DC is better because they cuss. I've heard that before. No way. No one yeah, see, yes, I've heard that bullshit. I've heard people say that to me, guys. That the DCU is better because they curse and all this. They get to kill people. I'm like, then go read a freaking graphic novel if you want to see that. Like, yeah. Akuma or the Juggernaut, who wins? I'm gonna give it to Akuma. Akuma, get that helmet off. It's over. And in all honesty, a fight Kuma fighting Juggernaut, hell, Sidorak would probably like screw you, Kane. Take the power from here. You want the power? Give it to right to Akuma. You want that? And I can see Akuma slapping the gem of Sidorak out of his hand. Be like, I don't want that. Like that would be a disrespect to him. I cry because we will never see Green Lantern, the Blackest Night, be done in live. I would love to see Blackest Night done, but we probably never will do it. Do you like Punisher Max? Out of the Lantern Corps, which one you see yourself mostly fitting in? Green or blue? I'm all about will and I'm all about hope. So I can be, those are definitely, I try to keep my rage in check. So I should keep my rage in check. So green, indigo is compassion. I do have a lot of compassion. But the most interesting about indigo, all those people are former criminals and it's really interesting. But yeah, I can even see myself maybe as a star sapphire. I'm all about love too, but mostly green and and blue. Uh, any Any Nightwing comics you recommend? Right now, Tom Taylor's Nightwing is great. Go read it. Saturday Night Fright coming back anytime soon? Yeah, it comes back later this month. Actually, it comes back later this month. Have you watched? Have you played Ghost Rider PSP game or even the Punisher arcade game with Nick Fury? Yes, I have. The Capcom game. I love that game. Never played this Ghost Rider PSP. I've never understood the whole grips against Canada. Me neither. I'm just saying, like, I've heard people say like, well, you got to be Canadian, or it's just, and that's then I'll just say, what does a Canadian look like? Because they're just like American. They come in, it's just ridiculous. I'd love to go to Canada someday. Me too. I'm so close to Canada. Toronto is right north. I'm like, yeah, I love to go to Toronto, and Vancouver and Calgary. I would love to visit the birthplace of Bret Hart, one of my favorite wrestlers. What does a Canadian look like? Yeah, Bret Hart was also Jinder Mahal and Andromeda. Yeah, Tally herself likes it doing. I can keep going. The question makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. Makes no sense. It doesn't make sense. Jinder Mahal is Canadian. He's but has Indian descent. You know, it's ridiculous. It's stupid. Speaking of altered Nick Furies, what is David Hasselhoff? What if David Hasselhoff came in Doctor Strange 2? That would be so funny to see David Hasselhoff's Nick Fury be cracking up. I would be cracking up if I saw that. I'm not gonna say Doom as a villain, but more of a rogue anti-hero. That ain't working. Nope, that is not working. He is no anti-hero. He is a villain. He's a villain. You know, breakfast pizza. Yeah. Still want to keep. Still want to try Squid Ink pizza. Oh, now, I've heard of it. Everyone stay blessed. Yeah. Do you want a new Spawn movie? I know they're working on one with Jamie Foxx as Spawn. He is playing him. All right. And yes, Spawn rules. Yeah. If I went to Canada, I would go fishing for pike and lake trout. Chris, last question is, Chris, how do you how did you become so wise as a man, and any advice you can give me since you're a great role model? I wise I never really looked at it like that. I mean, everything I've learned is from teachings. Everything I've learned is from people I've been around. My dad, my uncles, my teachers, uh, reading philosophies from Bruce Lee and words of the wise from Muhammad Ali and people like that. It comes from just teachings. So for me, the advice is never, never, ever limit yourself, because we're always learning. Education is not just in the schools, it's also in life. You're always learning. You're always learning something. It is never just in schools, things like that. It's always life is education. Life is teaching you. When you surround yourselves with positive, yeah, you're going to get it back. You always surround yourself with negative, yeah, you're going to have a different look on life. It's just simple. But yeah, it's comes down to the people I've been around, the people who raised me, my parents, my mom, my rest in peace, my dad, my uncles. You know, those are the wise people I looked at. You know, my teachers, my senseis, my, you know, everybody who has meant a lot to me, I've learned from. In life, I've always learned. Period. And everybody's just talking about Canada and Spawn. Spawn versus Hellboy. Yeah, Spawn. Spawn would, even at Hellboy's most powerful, when he's Spawn would beat him. Would still beat him. Well, guys, we're gonna end it here. Thank you for coming out. Thank you. I appreciate it very much, as always. So what is coming up as of late? Well, more comic reviews, because I'm finishing out some more comics as of late. So look out for those. Like I just talked about in terms of like those lists. Um, I will do that. You know, Luke Cage is celebrating his 50th anniversary, so I will do something in honor of Luke Cage. The Bruce Willis stuff, I will do something in honor of Bruce Willis since he's retired from acting. Uh, I still got to put up my Batman review. I haven't put that up. I apologize. I probably put up the Scream review too, because I did finally sat down and watch Scream, the last Scream. So I will give my thoughts on that. I will be seeing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I believe, this week. So I will give a review on that as well. That's one of the movies I want to see before my trip to Orlando. Definitely look out. I will be putting up The Northman. The North. Oh God, I can't wait to see that movie. That looks badass. I can't wait to see that. But yeah, there's some stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming, and just like I said, but then, like I said again, guys, Shotgun Saturday Fright will return the end of the month. I think I'm planning the end of the month. So please, you guys, I'm telling you, if you don't, you got to because the whole sweepstakes starts this month too. So if you're not commenting on videos, then you're not entering the sweepstakes. You gotta, that helps. Once you can't, your name goes in the for the raffle, for the sweepstakes. Outside of that, guys, you guys take care. Thank you for watching. And have a good night. Stay blessed. And as always, my pack, peace with love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. Deuces.